Happy Monday, Liberty Kitty Cats. And before we get into today's extremely fun episode, I got to let you know that you could have already heard it. You could have already seen it live were only you a member of the Lions of Liberty Pride. Our Lions of Liberty Patreon, by which we help to fund the very program you're listening to right now. But we don't just beg for your money, my friends. We provide you with value in return with all sorts of bonus content, including live stream editions of many of my episodes here, as well as tons of bonus audio and video content, including shows like Conspiracy Corner, like Brian's Daily, Good Morning Fuckhead. That's right. Good morning, Fuckhead. This is going to be an explicit episode anyway, so what's the difference, folks, right? As well as rumor has it, there may be a new episode of Doom Nothing Man coming very, very soon. That is Brian's audio libertarian comedy / drama. You got to be checking that out. You can get it all over at patreon.com/Lions of Liberty. So if you love this program, if you are a fan of the greatest liberty variety show on earth, well, the best way to show that fanhood is to join the Pride. So head on over to patreon.com/Lions of Liberty.
We need to empower people with not just the philosophical tools, but the inspiration to break free from the system.
Welcome to the flagship Lions of Liberty podcast, your weekly dose of education, inspiration, and real-world application from the top minds in the liberty movement.
If you want liberty, we need to be better leaders, better husbands, better fathers, better friends, better businessmen. We need to be better people.
Here's your host, your guide, your shining beacon of liberty, Mark Clare.
Live long and live free.
All right, kitty cats. For our Lions of Liberty Pride, for our patrons anyway, it is a Tuesday night. I've got a bottle of wine here, and I wanted to take a little bit of a break from the serious, a little bit of a break from the libertarian theory, the policy talk, the candidates, what have you, all the standard stuff. And I wanted to do a little something. I wanted to bring Twitter to life, so to speak, because I think really at this point, my favorite part of being a libertarian is spending time on libertarian Twitter and enjoying many of my favorite Twitter followers, or not followers, but follows, whatever. And I brought a few of them here tonight to join me and have some fun. So first, I cannot have, I'm just seeing your caption, Pete. Your title that you changed it to. Of course, you cannot have a show with the best of libertarian Twitter without the king of libertarian Twitter. He is the author of some books, Freedom to Memedom, Kids Aren't All Right, I believe it's called. What else, Pete? What do you do? Libertarian Institute, Free Man Beyond the Wall, all those things. And Master Inflamer on Twitter is, of course, Pete Quinones. Pete, are you ready to roar?
What's going on, Mark? How you doing, man?
You need to answer the question, sir. Are you ready to roar?
Oh, yeah.
This man's excited, folks. You're not going to be able to contain him tonight. Another one of my favorite Twitter follow, and these are all for different reasons that I like following these accounts, because you guys all have some different styles. But if you want someone who will never give up on an argument and will never, ever concede defeat, you got to be following my man, Ace Arcist. Ace, what's up, buddy?
Hey,
are you ready to roar?
I am ready to roar.
Threw me off so much.
I am ready to roar. Thank you so much for inviting me on here.
Awesome to have you. And lastly, this gentleman, in quotes, truly, I will say there's hardly a day that I open Twitter and see a tweet from this account and don't nearly piss my pants. I'm really thrilled to have on, depending on what you want to call him. He may be called Neoconremover. For the purposes of this video show, he's called Pete Quinones. Neoconremover, are you ready to roar?
Absolutely, buddy.
All right. Well, it's awesome having you guys here. And I was just telling you guys before the show, like, I'm no different than you guys. I've heard a lot of you guys talk about the same subject. I'm kind of getting, and maybe this isn't what you're supposed to say as the host of a libertarian podcast, I'm kind of getting sick of libertarianism too. Not the existence of it, not my belief in it, but just talking about the same things over and over. And I have so much fun listening to libertarians that I know and like and follow, not really talk about libertarian shit that much. So maybe we'll talk about libertarian shit. Maybe we won't. But either way, I think all of you guys have brought some semblance of joy to my life. When I need a break from, I don't know, normal libertarian shit, I can open up Twitter and all you guys entertain me in one way, shape, or form. Pete, we already know your story. You've been on here before. Everyone knows Pete. We're going to save you for a minute, but since you guys are both pretty new to the show, I want you to just give a little, a brief little introduction for the listeners here of just kind of how you got into all this weird liberty stuff and kind of take that however you want. So Ace, why don't we start with you?
Sure. Yeah. So it's actually funny, speaking of Twitter, because so I kind of got my start in libertarianism through like Judge Andrew Napolitano, Ron Paul, those types, and then into Tom Woods. But really what kind of brought me to Twitter was actually I found Pete. I lurked Pete's Twitter account back when he was Mance Raider because I found his memes so hilarious, and I just like lurked his Twitter account for years, just like collecting his memes. And eventually, I joined Twitter because I'm like, okay, these guys and the guys he hangs around with, like the Fagcast, now TLE, these guys are awesome. I want to be a part of this. I want to try to be a part of this crew, and that's kind of why I joined Twitter in the first place. So now here I am. It's kind of surreal.
So you're basically just a libertarian Twitter fanboy stalker that worked his way into the club.
That's right. That's exactly it.
That's the dream if I ever heard it.
It is. Yeah. I'm very blessed.
All right. Neoconremover, who has now changed his name to Mance Gator. Do you want to give everybody a little intro to yourself? Where the hell you come from? How did you get on Liberty Twitter? And how did you become the Neoconremover?
Yeah, I got into libertarianism through Dave Smith and Tom Woods, like debunking a Ben Shapiro video, because I was like into just NormieCon kind of like Ben Shapiro destroys the libtards video compilation things. And then I saw Tom Woods and Dave Smith do like a really good takedown video of some of Ben Shapiro's arguments. And I was like, oh, these dudes are like way smart. And just started kind of going down that path and checking out their stuff and started listening to the Tom Woods show and everything like that. And then I got into Liberty Twitter by finding Friends Against Government podcast. And I thought Bird and Carr were really funny. And I was like, man, these guys talk about Twitter a lot. And I bet they're like really funny on there. I didn't have a Twitter or even like know anyone on there. So I just made one to like follow them and like keep up with like the kind of that like scene and just started. That's how I started posting on Twitter. Basically.
All right, so this is basically the fans of the Fagcast support group.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I should charge those guys an advertising fee.
I was in the DM when they actually came up with the name.
So Pete's the OG. So any of you guys can comment on this, but I want to dive into first because people that don't get into the weeds on this stuff, or maybe they just don't have the right, the right attitude towards Twitter. They might, on the surface, look at Twitter and be like, look, Twitter's the land of the blue check marks, the land of bans and account nuking. But why do you guys all think this is a really good battleground, a place to really be known and to use it for whatever your means of communication preferred methods may be? But why is it such a perfect format for getting a lot of your messages across in whatever ways you choose to? And any guys can take that.
Go ahead, Ace.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So I
look,
actually
even as avatars, Pete could tell that you wanted to talk.
Yeah. So I actually think, for one, the blue checks, it is filled with blue checks. That is true, but that's a good thing because you get to watch these blue checks have horrible opinions, and you get to watch people dunk on them in the comments, right? So if you're looking for some type of entertainment, you have it through that, right? There's also an amazing amount of people who you might not, who you would regret not knowing had you not joined Twitter, right? So there's an amazing way to like actually make friends on Twitter, and also just like. Personally speaking, being able to quote tweet people and quote tweet them in a way that hopefully takes down their argument in some way, and also makes it so I can make them make their arguments look sort of dumb and implode. That's really great, especially when you have people who will go in and also start making fun of them, and that it's really funny. So if you're looking to be kind of a troll on Twitter, it's the best place to troll by far.
Speaking of trolling, Pete, Neocon, either of you are pretty much experts on this topic.
I just think it's fun and funny. Like, I think there's something genuinely satisfying about like throwing some bait out there and just watching people like bite on it. Makes me feel powerful and strong. Like I control the universe.
Is the real appeal for you guys for Twitter? It's not really as much, at least for me anyway, or as an observer, it's not as much about what you're saying as it is about how you're getting people to react to what you're saying.
That's right.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, I don't care if what I post is even intelligent or funny. I'm waiting for the reaction. And it's the best thing about, I've been going after libertarians lately. I don't care the blue check marks. I don't care about that. Well, there are a couple blue check mark libertarians I really want to get a hold of, but get my hands on. But I'm in it for the reaction. That's all I want. Yeah.
And like, what are you going for? Like, what is it just pure joy? is that really the purpose of getting these reactions, or is there actually a greater strategy here? Are you actually hoping to that this sort of, by getting these visceral reactions, you're gonna help other people see those reactions and kind of influence the way they view those people that are reacting?
No.
I'm overthinking it, huh?
For me, it's a little bit that, like, I always think that, okay, well, maybe if someone sees this person making really, really bad points, maybe someone on the sidelines will see it. But mostly for me, it is actually just a troll. It is actually just, I want to watch their arguments get under their own skin and watch them like freak out when they can't, combat something. I think that's really funny personally.
What are you able to get? What are you guys able to get like the most vitriolic reactions on? What sort of topics? What sort of memes? Like, and you can go either with how you get those reactions from other blue check type libertarians or whoever. But what really stands out to you is what really gets people fucking going.
Being accused of not being a real libertarian. That's what I want. I want people to get upset that I'm breaking the libertarian code or libertarian purity. That's been my thing for a while now, because I just think people take this way too seriously. It's all theoretical in practice. When it comes to practice, it's all theoretical. So I just try to have fun with it.
Yeah, I think for me, the most visceral reaction I get is usually when you attack. Usually it's some person who is defending the cops generally, right? I always, those are the types of people I think I can always get the most reaction out of. And I know just how to poke them in such a way that'll get them viscerally reacting. So that's always fun.
The bootlickers are always fun.
Yes.
I think I saw Pete subtweeting someone today that was defending the cops that like tased that kid who was vaping.
Yeah.
I think one of the guys said something like, well, he clearly tried to vape again after that. Like, oh, well, then, of course you should electrocute the child.
Right. Of course. What else would you do?
Neocon, I want to know a little bit more about what drives you. What drives you on Twitter? What causes you to make comments? Like, what is the drive behind? Because every day, I love following Pete. I love following Ace. They inspire me with a lot of their comments, with a lot of the reactions they get. But you literally like post things that make me fall out of my chair. Like the other day, or maybe it was a few weeks ago. I don't care who I offend. I'm just reading someone else's tweet. But you said you posted like kind of as Joe Jorgensen saying, "Oh, this is a picture of myself with my retarded son Jeremy earlier this year." I was at work and just on my phone and like literally just started busting out so hard. And there's no way I could explain this to people I work with that don't even know the first thing about libertarian bullshit. But like, where do you come up with these ideas of things to post that are clearly just meant to either offend people that you would say a retarded son or something like that, or inspire so much joy in people like me that just think it's absolutely hilarious?
Well, I'm definitely trying to inspire joy first and foremost. As gay as that sounds, like when I post stuff, I'm not actually trying to, super gay, but I'm not actually trying to, like, I don't send stuff typically thinking like, oh man, this is going to get people so mad, or like a lot of times I'm just like, I'm trying to make people laugh. Like, this is going to be funny, and I really hope everyone like laughs at this thing. And a lot of ways you do that is by, saying things you shouldn't say, I guess. So like, that's why a lot of it ends up being kind of like edgelord shit sometimes. But I really just want to be funny. I really just want to make people laugh. And I typically just think of funny things all day, or I try to think of things I think are funny. So it's really kind of cool that a lot of other people do too. Like, I really appreciate you saying that you think it's funny. It's cool. It makes me feel like, this is actually some good stuff here. And also another way to be funny, like in the libertarian space, is to like make really kind of niche references to like maybe just like some inside baseball or like smaller targeted stuff. Cause then like those people who get it, like they like they appreciate it a little more because it's not just some like broad joke that on Twitter that could make anyone laugh on Twitter. It's like you'd have to know who these two people are in this photo or whatever.
When you know that 99% of people are going to have no clue what you're talking about, it makes you appreciate it so much more when like someone actually does know what you're talking about or when they actually find it funny.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. What have all three of you guys had? I'm not sure if you have, Ace. I know Pete and Neoconremover have had your accounts either banned or removed like before. What can you, or maybe you can think of specific tweets or specific memes. What is it that actually can get you knocked off of Twitter or banned or temporarily banned?
I got suspended for 12 hours once because I told Liz Cheney her dad should sit in an electric chair. So that's as much as I've gone, though. I'm sure
just sitting
Pete,
in it. You didn't even say turn it on.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, I'm sure Pete and Neoconremover though can describe many more things that can get them banned.
I had 12 hours today because
12 hours. I didn't even know about this till the two of you I didn't know you get 12-hour bans. It's just to kind of like slap you on the wrist and say, hey,
because a few days ago, an obvious tranny accused me of being a Fed and said, found the Fed. And I said, found the tranny. And apparently somebody reported that 3-day tweet and that got a 3-day-old tweet and that got me a ban, a 12-hour ban. But my original account getting nuked was somebody said, what do you in Ancapistan, what are you going to do if I start raping children? And I took the bait and I said, I'll just shoot you in the fucking head. And that was it. So
they don't like that one, huh?
Yeah, they didn't like that one. That was my account from like 2008 or 2009 that got nuked. Yeah.
I saw another one that had some libertarians in an uproar recently that you said, Pete. It was in response to the current situation in New Hampshire, and I think you said something to the
just go in their arms and take it back.
Yeah, and then I think I saw a certain listener who often gets upset about things people say on Twitter, who may have appeared on a podcast dating a certain comedian, saying something to the effect of, actually, he had a whole exchange with Joshua Smith somehow about you, asking if Joshua Smith supports you saying this because he has, he has to answer for you.
I want to explain what I meant by that. Actually, I don't. They can go fuck themselves.
Peter, would you care to clarify your statement?
No, I'm good.
No, not really.
When I had my original account banned, which I actually have back now, like 4 months later, Twitter just emailed me out of nowhere and was like, hey, your account's been restored. It was very bizarre. But I don't understand why they did that. It kind of makes me suspicious. But anyway, I don't know what exactly it was banned for. Like I never got an actual thing saying like this was the tweet or whatever. But it was banned by like LP loser brigade types because Dave
Smith reported by them.
Yeah, it had to have been. Dave Smith drew attention to my account in like a he retweeted me, I think like twice or something, and people found my account that way. And then some like Lolbert dude, who I'm not going to name, took screenshots of some of my tweets from my account and posted them like a collage of them or whatever, and said, "Be careful who you retweet, Dave." And, like tagged Dave Smith in it. I was like, "Careful who you retweet." And I just went through my page and like had some screenshots, and then that thread blew up, and there was like 4 or 5 different like known like infamous loser brigade type accounts who we all are very familiar with on the timeline, who were like commenting on it like, wow, this is crazy, whatever, blah blah blah, or Dave doesn't care because he loves this stuff, he's a Nazi or whatever. So then literally the day, like 12 hours after that happened, my account's banned. So I'm just assuming they just went through my page and just like searched the word like, I don't know, like retard or something, and just like reported
8 million tweets.
Yeah, I just reported a bunch of tweets or something, I don't know, and my account was banned. But then I just made an alt, and then my account got unbanned. So here we are.
So I think the latest account I saw you have, I know you had the Neoconremover _ but now you just have regular Neoconremover again. Is that the original account returned?
Original account, yeah. I got the original one back without the _.
So is the second one still banned?
No.
And do they not catch on to this stuff?
Do you think they would? No, it's just on lock as a backup in case, But I have been a good boy since I got banned back when that happened. I haven't gotten like I think a single suspension since then because I've been very cautious about what I tweet, and I've preemptively, since all the accounts are known, we all know who they are. I just went and blocked everyone from the rip. I was just like, yeah, I'm not even going to engage with these people. Like, I don't know if you pay attention to my feed, I never like quote tweet or interact with like any tweet from like Sarwark or like I'm not going to name them, but like the people that like over the past few weeks, especially with that one meme that was posted, and you know what I mean? Like that we're all freaking out. Like, I don't engage with these people. They're all blocked. Huh? Yeah. But like all the people who are engaging with that, like on that other side of Twitter, they're all like, I have every single one of them blocked, and I don't quote tweet them. I don't comment and get in their feed and try to antagonize them like Pete does. I just ignore them all, and I've gotten no suspensions, no bans. Like, I just tweet on my feed, and that's an effective strategy to not get banned. Like, the quickest way to get your shit taken down is to like comment to somebody, and like that's someone that's a report person, let's say. There's a term, but I'm not going to say it.
Oh, I want to know the term. What's going to happen if you say it?
Well, it's a term used a lot is like they're a report fag.
Oh, okay. There you go. I don't want to say it. One follow-up later. No problem saying it.
For educational purposes.
That's right.
So while we're talking about Twitter, I wonder if you guys can comment on, we just had Jeremy Kauffman actually was just on Electric Liberty Land this week because he was actually behind a lot of the tweets from the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. A lot of the controversial tweets. I think there was the biggest controversial one that people are very, very upset about is where he said something to the effect of, objectively speaking, if 1,000 trans people were murdered and taxation ended, the world would be a better place. And there were some other ones. But what do you think just of the strategy of those tweets? Maybe whether you want to talk about the specific tweets themselves but I guess that's the idea of an official Libertarian Party account being sort of, I don't want to use the term edgelord. I think that's a term that just like people say because they don't feel like, actually addressing the actual tweets themselves. Or
you mean like racist?
Or racist. Sure, you can say racist if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is just like racist. It's the racist of Twitter. It's the way to dismiss everything that you're saying because you're just saying, oh, they're trying to be edgelords, and they're not actually. And the biggest complaint I hear from, like, I don't want to say blue check libertarians. Like, some of them are legitimate people who are in the legitimate people who work in the Libertarian Party.
I'm laughing at Neoconremover's screen name right now.
I know. This is why you got to watch the video, even though I'm talking to 3 avatars right now, because Pete and Neoconremover keep changing their screen names. Right now, Neoconremover is 90s Rothbard butt gay, and Pete is now Andy Craig's husband. It's all in the fun, my friends. I forgot what we're talking about. I got distracted by 90s Rothbard butt
Jeremy
gay.
Kauffman.
Oh yeah. So what do you guys just think of this idea of, I don't know, of turning like official state accounts into kind of like what your accounts are, like meant to draw attention, because they got more impressions, they got tons of impressions, they got tons of traction. But people that work in the Libertarian Party, not all people, some people, I should say, will say things like, well, they're smearing our hard work at being a serious party, at being a legitimate party, at being taken seriously. We can't be taken seriously with these edgy, racy tweets, even if it's getting too much attention, or not too much attention, but more attention to the account and the party. And I know none of you guys probably give a shit about the party that sells, but I just, feel free to comment on this however you want while I drink wine.
Hey, I was at the LP Florida convention this weekend, so I really care.
I care as long as if any party person wants to message me and let me write tweets for it, like that'd be great. I'd love to do some ghostwriting for the Twitter accounts. Let's just say that if they want to.
I mean, if we get the right people, if the right people get in there, this is like, I don't have any hope that the Libertarian Party gets, taken over and then leads to some dramatic change in the world of the country. But I do have hope, potentially, that if the right people got in there, they could, at the very least, if nothing else, hand the keys over to like the 3 of you and a couple other people I can think of and just let everybody go wild. Because for me, even if it does make the Libertarian Party look less legitimate or what have you, who cares? I'm like, you guys, I want to see fun. I want to have fun watching the world burn in a sense, at least when it comes to Twitter and when it comes to messaging, because people getting riled up about tweets, there's nothing that makes me take someone less seriously than them taking a funny, jokey, even controversial or edgy tweet seriously.
Yeah, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So I say keep it going.
Wow, so true, brother.
Yeah.
And right now, Ace has the best screen name of the night.
Joe Roganson.
No, Ace.
Oh, Ace. Oh, did Ace changes? Hold on. Why can't I see it? Because I put this comment up. Hold on. Ace is now.
Very jerk off thing to do, Ace.
Yeah. Hey,
See, this is where I think
People are watching.
should I just read it for the audio listener, since thousands of people are just listening on audio, or should I just say you have to go watch the video if you want to
Make them watch the video, dude.
Yeah, I think I got to make you watch the video.
Yeah,
because we're on YouTube, but we're also on Odyssey. And if you have a choice, which you all do, go to Odyssey, because we'd like to build up the Odyssey channel, because fuck YouTube, but we use it for necessity right now. But speaking of Jerry Kaufman, who is the founder of LBRY and Odyssey, if you actually look at any of his tweets, the only one, even if I was someone that didn't get jokes or didn't get the type of messaging that I may be offended by, if I was the kind of person to be offended by, which I'm not, is the tweet about, if 1,000 trans people were murdered. But his real point was about taxation and the destruction and death that comes along with taxation. And yeah, there's like thousands and thousands of people that die every day. Point being, even with their trans, I don't think it matters whether they're trans or whatever they are. The point being, if taxation ended worldwide, yes, the world would be an objectively better place, regardless of whatever 1,000 people died. That's the way I took it anyway.
Right. I mean, I think some people would say, well, it's callous and cold, but it's at the end of the day, it's just a numbers game, right? It's like the amount of death and destruction taxation funds is innumerable, right?
It's objectively more than 1,000.
Yes.
And it really sucks that when you're talking about both of those subjects, that 40% is such a relevant number.
Is that a joke I don't get? No, really.
Yes.
What's the 40%? I don't get it, do I?
If you have to explain it.
Then the joke's on me. Shit. Now I'm screeching.
Sorry, guys. Ace wants to bail right now.
No. What? Oh, no, absolutely not.
Maybe this is a good time for Ace to explain his new screen name.
Oh,
without naming names, or with naming names, who cares? It's on video.
Well, it's just it's in reference to a certain libertarian who had a certain incident with a teenager out a window. I think I'll leave it at that.
I can't even listen to what you guys say anymore, because I can't keep up with the constant title changes. Right now, we also got here with us today Valerie Sarwark's Bull and Ron Paul's newsletter author. So welcome.
Thanks.
I'm just going to ask random questions and see where.
Yeah, for
absolutely.
Sure.
That have nothing to do with anything except who do you guys think wrote the Ron Paul newsletters? For real, the real one.
Jeffrey Tucker.
I think it's Jeffrey Tucker.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's 3 unanimous. Okay, what leads you to believe that?
His bow tie.
I was told by somebody that I respect more than anything.
Me, I told him.
Well, I do. Well, Bert, I respect you. Maybe not as high as this person.
I will say I have been told that also from quote unquote people I respect that are probably similar maybe to the ones Pete heard them from. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably true. And if not, we'll
just start saying it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
All right. On the other line, I've got Jeffrey Tucker. Jeffrey, can you please address whether you wrote the Ron Paul?
I certainly did. I certainly wrote him. Let me tell you, Mark, it is a fantastic piece I wrote, and it's just wonderful.
In all seriousness, I think Ron Paul newsletters has also become one of those just terms that gets tossed around by, I don't know, like what you might call a blue pilled check mark, whatever you type libertarian.
Yeah.
It's like edgelord, it's right. They got the same kind of people that support the Ron Paul newsletters. If you actually go and read them, I think a few years ago I read this breakdown of them by Justin Raimondo, basically breaking down at worst there's 4 literal words in all of them combined that you could possibly construe with as having a racist undertone maybe, but if you actually take those in context, really there's nothing. It's really nothing. It's really become so much more of just one of those memes, one of those grenades that gets lobbed at anybody who is associated with the Mises Caucus or calls himself a Rothbardian or a Ron Paul libertarian. Everyone is just smattered with terms, and this is one of them, just Ron Paul newsletters, and then that makes us all racist. If
you're a libertarian and you're more upset about some stupid newsletter versus a a vice presidential candidate that worked for Raytheon. To me, that just seems like you have things just way out of proportion.
But you can care about both. But the problem is they don't care about the Raytheon.
Yeah, they don't care about both.
The Raytheon lobbyists.
Yeah, they can care about both when they're jumping off a bridge. So I don't care.
All right. Next question. Is Tho Bishop right?
Yes.
I think certainly with his certainly with like the like shit posting edgelord stuff. Yeah.
And I mean, what do you guys think, just politically speaking? Do you think that, I mean, are you all pretty much on the page at this point? I don't know. Pete waffles back and forth. I know he was hardcore about the Mises Caucus one, and then he was gone from the libertarian shit, and now he's showing up at conventions, and maybe one day he's criticizing the Mises Caucus, and another day he's kind of offering strategy tips. So I don't really know exactly where you fall, Pete, but I enjoy watching the ride either way. What's that? Yes, exactly.
That's by design.
I'm all on board with the Tho Bishop plan, baby. I don't give a fuck about the Mises Caucus, bro. Let's go.
Ace, what about you? Or do you care?
I try not. I just try to stay out of politics, but I do think his strategy is. I've been thinking for a while that his strategy probably is better. That you should probably try to just run as a Republican and get elected if you're actually trying to pursue political power, right? Like I can understand like wanting to be a libertarian and wanting to fix the party in the sense that the party does. If you're going to identify as a libertarian, you want to have it, representing your values. But if you're actually trying to go for political power, it would make sense to run as, one of the standard parties and just get in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hold on. Was there a name change I see somewhere? DeSantis for king. And Kang. This is why you got to watch the video, guys. Even when I'm just talking to three avatars, the entertainment is nonstop. Why don't you guys ask me a question? Each of you ask me a question. That's my new strategy.
I wanted to know what is your routine for keeping such amazing hair?
Damn it.
Was that yours?
That was going to be my question.
Oh my God.
I'm jealous.
You got time to think of a new one. Well, it's my routine's kind of wavered over the years.
Okay.
I've had times when I've gone through because I always, yes, this is actually something I think about. I've read if you shampoo and condition too much, it can like wear your hair down and whatever. So then I've gone sometimes where I just try to stop washing it for a while. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it actually seems to get better for that. But then I just start to feel gross, like my scalp feels gross. I want to just wash it and scrub it. Yeah. No, what I do is I just pretty much like every 3 days, I do a thorough shampoo and condition. Sometimes I like to use shampoos with coconut stuff in them.
Oh, yeah.
If you really want to get in the weeds here. And because then my hair also smells good for like a day. That's nice.
That's great.
It's hanging by my face. Like it actually matters how it smells. Yeah, I mean, that's it. There was a while from a suggestion of a mutual friend of all good libertarians, Raylene Lightheart. She told me to use apple cider vinegar. And I had like a month where I kept that in my shower and was using and just washing with that. And actually my hair was amazing. And I don't know why I stopped. And actually, I think I'm going to go buy some after this because I should get back on it. So there you go. Bert, have you thought of a new one? Mark Claire's hair. Rothbard Rockwell retort. I'm liking these and Star Wars standards.
What is your favorite guest you've ever interviewed?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh man, do you want like the standard answer or the real answer? I want to say
answer. I want to keep it real.
Okay, I have to think about that one.
Do the answer you better say. That's fine. Whatever.
In all seriousness, not trying to kiss ass here. Like one of my favorite conversations ever. Like my standard answer back in the day was like, oh, when I finally got Tom Woods on, or when I got Ron Paul on, which is true. Those guys are awesome, and it was like really milestones for me to interview those guys to actually feel like, okay, if these guys actually can have a conversation with me, and then they say good things about it after, like, okay, I do actually feel like I'm doing something okay here. But in terms of like actually enjoying interviews, like in a higher level kind of way, a couple guys, and they're kind of related to each other because I found one through the other. But in the last year, I think two of my favorite interviews were, one was with Pete, where we got into things like meditation and LSD, and then things that I don't normally talk about publicly or normally talk about on, that you don't even really hear that much about on libertarian podcasts. And also my conversations with Vin Armani, who I really found through listening to him on Pete's show too. I mean, talking to him has just been, mind blowing because, again, he talks about things, whether you agree with them or not, that are high level concepts that most libertarians aren't addressing, let alone just not agreeing with. They're just not the conversations that are out there. So I think in the last year, I've really been trying to do more shows that I actually find interesting, as opposed to just, bringing someone on to talk about, how a libertarian society would deal with this, that, or the other. I mean, I think one of my favorite moments of the year actually was like after I had Jeffrey Tucker on, and we were talking about we were just talking about all sorts of shit. He was ranting about lockdowns, and we just had a good time. But after the interview, he told me, I'm just so glad you didn't do the standard, like, how would a libertarian society deal with the pandemic? And I was like, I'm glad he said that, because 5 years ago, that is probably the show I would have done. I would have just done like 100 episodes about, with Walter Block telling me how an anarcho-capitalist society would handle this or that. And that shit just doesn't interest me anymore. Now I want to do shows that I would actually really care about hearing. And I think that's what I've always done, because 5 years ago, I really cared about hearing how an anarcho-capitalist society would deal with this, that, and the other thing. But now I just find that trite, boring. And like you guys have all kind of referenced in a way, it's just theory. And I used to hate when people would say that, like to dismiss the arguments. They say, well, this is just theory. It doesn't apply to the real world. And I do think the theories apply to the real world. In theory, they apply to the real world if the real world adopted the theories, but the real world's not adopting these theories, and it's probably never going to. So that's the real point. So it's not that the theories are incorrect or that I don't enjoy the theory. I mean, I know, Ace, that's like the one of the biggest things you get into, is the weeds of these theories.
And even I hate it.
Yeah. But you're just driven to do it now.
That's right. That's
just
right.
Your calling. It's your mission.
Yep.
Yeah. There are more
child laborer.
There are more important.
Josh Smith's 15K travel agent. I love this. Armani Exchange. These are amazing.
There are more important questions during a global pandemic than like, how would a libertarian society in theory handle this? Like, what if Hitler was a gay retard or something like that? It's like a much more
interesting question. Yeah. What if? Where would we be now? That's the question.
You could do a whole debate with Dave on that one.
Dave Smith versus Jeffrey Tucker. All right, guys, I got to take a quick break to tell you about our newest sponsor, and that is our good friend, the man himself, Top Lobster. This guy produces the most amazing, most original, most graphically pleasing Liberty gear you're going to find anywhere. I personally have the Legalized Freedom hat. I have the Scott Horton End of the Wars shirt. I also have a Disobey Your Local Tyrant with Gavin Newsom on it that Top Lobster sent me as well, personalized just for me. You are not going to find cooler Liberty gear anywhere. So right now, if you are a fan of this show, I want you to support our sponsors. You need to head over, stop this very podcast, head over to Top Lobster. That's Lobster, LOBSTA.com. Browse everything over there. I guarantee you're going to find something you love. And then all you got to do is use discount code ROAR for 10% off your order. That's discount code ROAR for a smooth 10% off. Everybody wins. You get cool gear. You get to support a sponsor. That sponsor supports us. This is how the free market works, my friends. So please head over to toplobster.com and don't forget to use discount code ROAR for 10% off your order.
We talk about that tweet from fucking... No, hold on. I'm talking about this tweet. We got to talk about this tweet from fucking your boy, fucking Libertarian in Chief.
What was his tweet?
Oh, yeah.
Someone's got to pull it up.
You're all good. I can probably find it quickly.
It's a wild one.
I loved your tweet today, man. Rest in peace, George H.W. Floyd.
Thank you.
Fucking lost it.
Dude, some people in the comments are way funnier than me, though. Someone commented on and said, like, read my lips, no new fentanyl or something like that.
It's the DeSantis' authoritarian tweet? Is that the one?
Yeah, that's a wild take, bro. That's the kind of libertarian autism that, like, I just can't deal with, bro.
Well, I liked your quote tweet of, is it something to the effect of, like, wow, I think I like authoritarianism now.
Yeah.
But Todd Hagopian, who has been on this program, he tweeted, DeSantis is becoming pretty authoritarian. And then he has a list here. School prayer / meditation requirement. I don't know anything about that. He's not allowing school prayer or making people meditate, or I don't know. Transgender sports ban, transgender surgery ban, tech deplatforming ban, critical race theory ban. But by all means, keep cheering him on because they are, quote, your kind of ban's requirements.
Yes, exactly. Correct. He's got it right. That is why I'm cheering them on. It's like a totally Machiavellian thing. Like, yeah, I like those things. Like, I don't care that they weren't, I don't know, like democratically decided and they were just top down and imposed. Like, I don't know what you wanted me to say.
But to fall
It means
into
nothing to me.
Even to fall into like the libertarian stereotype, those things are not necessarily like antithetical to libertarianism, right? Like banning.
Well, yeah, that's the presumption of the tweet. The presumption
Right.
of the tweet is those things are obviously anti-libertarian.
Right.
And really, none of them are or aren't. They're actually more just things that, well, in the ideal libertarian society, wouldn't be issues of the state at all.
Right. Yeah.
So to claim that being on one side of them is authoritarian, but being on the other is not, that's just totally missing the fucking point entirely.
You know,
Right.
as much as we make fun of theory and things like that, it's really obvious when you encounter a libertarian who hasn't read any.
Mhm.
And I remember, I bring this up all the time. I remember Jeff Deist saying, I think it was to Dave Smith last year, when you meet a libertarian who's really bad on everything, they're always bad on economics. And it's true. When you meet a libertarian who doesn't really know Austrian economics, and they don't have to know everything. Maybe just read like economics in one lesson, or something like that.
Yeah, you don't have to go all human action. It's okay.
Yeah.
You can get the baby, the baby lesson.
Yeah, if they're not at least proficient a little bit in economics in one lesson, Parabeelan, seen, unseen, unrealized, something like that,
Mhm.
they're usually pretty blue-pilled on most everything.
Definite theory reader. I'm horny. AMA. All right, this is a good time because I actually did find some thread of some questions from our patrons here. So let's see. Dan Roberts, he has a question for I'm horny AMA. He wants to know, Pete, are you a federal agent?
Am I a federal agent? Now, if I actually was, what would my answer be?
Probably no.
So no.
The perfect answer, ladies and gentlemen. Are any of you guys federal agents while we're on this subject?
Nah, I don't think so.
I wish I was. That'd be tight. I'd be paid for the fucking shit I'm doing. Hell yeah.
Right? Yeah. I'd have
right.
a lot more money than now.
So we talked about earlier. You guys don't think Nick Sarwark is literally a federal agent. So do you just think that he is a blue-pilled statist who actually believes what he's saying? I guess that's the question of people like that aren't literal agents or anything like that. Because there are certainly people in the party that seem to be completely antithetical to what the mission or what have you should be of an actual libertarian party. So what is the motivation of those people? Is it actual subterfuge or subversion of some kind, or is it more innocent in a way? Not innocent, like I think we can all agree, like there's shenanigans that go on behind the scene from people like that. But is it just because their version of libertarianism is so completely blue-pilledly different, or is it that they're literally on some kind of mission to fuck everything up?
I think he's like a drama club theater kid who has more status in the Libertarian Party than the Democratic Party, so that's why he
Right.
stayed.
Yes. Yeah, my kind of like cynical take on this is that I think they're trying to be like big fish in a little pond. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't. A lot of these people strike me as people who couldn't make it in the Democratic or Republican Party, so they're like, oh, I'm going to be a big star in the Libertarian Party, and that's kind of like where they come from. That's just my personal cynical take, but I don't know.
Man,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been saying all along, and I think that's what Ace said is right on. Is that these are unremarkable people. I mean, let's face it, they're unremarkable. I mean, who are the remarkable libertarians? Tom Woods, Dave Smith, the people that they hate. Come on. These are unremarkable people. These are people who they couldn't get the amount of downloads that I get, much less than the amount of downloads that Dave and Tom get. So, of course, they're going to by default hate them. And the whole racism and paleo strategy and all that bullshit, that's just excuses. They're just fucking jealous.
That's another term that gets tossed around that no one that uses that term knows what it is. If they use it in a derogatory way anyway.
Paleo strategy? Oh, they have no idea.
It's edgelord, it's racist, it's exactly the same thing. Let's see. Who else? Hey, this is a question for Peter. Anybody? Andrew Dalton, not formerly of the Cincinnati Bengals, I don't believe. What kind of gun should you bring into a meeting in order to take your shit back?
I actually answered him privately, and I said an AK pattern rifle and 5.56. But anybody can.
Dieter, if you guys have opinions on what type of firearm you might want to bring to get your shit back, should that theoretically occur?
I was trying to look up what OJ used because he got caught. So whatever that was didn't work out.
I believe he just. Okay, here's a question. Do you guys, because I have, well, it's not my own theory, it's someone else's theory that I just kind of believe in. Do you guys think that O.J. Simpson is the killer of Nicole Brown and whatever that dude's name is, or an accomplice?
Ron Goldman. Have some respect.
Ron Goldman. I'm sorry. I apologize, Mr. Goldman.
Three parentheses.
Oh my God. Ooh, I heart tranny grannies just says 3 parentheses. Okay.
Ron Goldman earlier.
What do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think about OJ.
He's a great actor. I love the Naked Gun films.
Big
Won an
fan.
Oscar for those, right?
I don't know. As Nordberg, he might have won an Oscar.
Jonah Perrin wants to know, will Ace ever stop debating Scrubs on Twitter?
When I get banned.
Then it's over for you? It's just going to be one ban? You're not going to, work your way back from the dead?
I'll come back. Yeah, but I'll stop for a little bit when I get banned.
All right.
We should just try to get Ace banned by reporting his tweets.
That's right. Honestly, that would be really funny.
Well, this is a question I think I can answer it too, because like, believe it or not, as much into like political stuff, because I host a theoretically political podcast, I don't really follow day-to-day politics, like hardly at all. All of my political actual news I get from hearing Brian McWilliams rant every week on Electric Liberty Land. I don't read news. I don't know what's going on in the news until libertarians or other people I follow start talking about it for whatever reason. But Jim McGill asks, is it possible to enjoy the shit show without paying any attention to the political world? And I would say absolutely yes, because all I do is I bring on people I want to talk to. I do shows I want to talk about. I do shows about subjects I want to talk about. And then I go on Twitter and watch the shit show. I don't watch the news. I don't read news stories. I don't do any of that shit.
Yeah.
And so I would say absolutely yes, because that's exactly what I do.
I don't think I've read like an article in like 3 years. I think I just read headlines. And
I
just
get my
getting out
news
online.
from my shit posting mutuals talking about it. That's how I get my news stories usually.
Yeah, I get all my news from Paz.
Yeah.
Scarlet Thread Society is my news source as well. And I don't know if any of you guys were super into like I'm probably aging myself. Well, Pete will know, but Art Bell that I used to listen to that growing up. But how deep are you guys into like the weird conspiracy stuff? Not like the kind of conspiracies we talk about, but I mean like the real shit. I'm talking about like the interdimensional beings and the aliens and everything in between.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, big fan.
And does any of this relate to what's currently going on in the Libertarian Party? That's really my question. Is there a satanic, otherworldly, interdimensional influence going on?
Yeah, Archie Flowers
tie
a
this all
cryptid.
together. What's that?
Archie Flowers a cryptid.
Which one is he?
No, he's his own.
Oh, he's his own. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like
I'm not even going to read Pete's current name. This one you do got to go to the video for. The Art Bell curve from Neoconremover. That's a good one.
Oh man,
that is a great one. That's legendary.
I wonder if it's ever been tweeted. Let's see.
And Archie's flower. Oh man, yeah, no, I grew up listening to like I was so fascinated by this is why I love what Paz is doing so much, because it really does remind me of that like Art Bell style, like just telling people stories, like and just like it just sends me down this world of imagination where you hear so much crazy shit, and I'm sure a lot of it is just bullshit. It's just people writing in and making stuff up, but there's always that like, man, did someone really go through this? Did they really drive through Nebraska and go to another dimension and see this fucking weird dark tower and then come back and couldn't explain it? Like hearing weird stories like that.
That's funny. That's my co-host Khan. That's his story.
Oh, really? Oh, that was
that's
who wrote that one?
Yeah, that was Khan. Yep.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. No, I mean that's a specific story that was right on Scarlet Thread Society over on Timeline Earth, who really should be sponsoring this episode because it's basically been all about them.
Also, Paz wanted me to tell you that he is actively working on a Scarlet Thread Society special for you.
Good, because I sent him Bitcoin just for that reason. Because I want to learn more about the moon and why it may or may not be a hologram. That's all I'm saying, guys.
That's a really interesting theory, actually.
Yeah, 6 million miles away. I don't know about that one.
I don't know either, man. 6 million? Are you serious? Is that the sun? That's the sun.
It's 5,999,999.
I thought it was 5.96.
Damn.
Isn't that pi?
Oh, damn.
Shit.
We could try to go to the gas planet.
Do they have wood doors there?
Yeah, the spaceship, the shuttle definitely will, for sure, to take them there.
6 million.
Everyone get aboard the Elon Musk space shuttle. Get loaded onto the space cars.
Somebody just posted 6 million sounds a little high.
Joe Kubinski was listening to this as he was walking his dog, and he just shit in front of a cop, and his dog just shit in front of a cop, and he's so happy.
It doesn't say his dog did that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure if he happened to be walking his dog, took a shit in front of the cop, or it's actually not clear. I'm going to imagine that it was Joe himself that took that shit.
Yeah.
Be a much better story.
Yeah, way better story. No, but let's get back to a serious note for a minute. Do you guys think that man literally landed on the moon or not? And is the moon real? Part B.
I don't know enough to say if the moon's real, but I don't know if I believe the moon landing. That seems pretty.
Okay. I'm going to take
answer. By the way, Joe said he'll just answer yes.
I'm going to take a controversial take on this. I do think we landed on the moon, but I think all the video footage is fake.
Ooh, I like that one. Okay, so what's the motive there? If they really, do you think they landed on a completely different timeline and just made this video footage separately? And they've also
I think the video footage was separate. Yeah,
the video footage is made by Kubrick.
Yeah.
That's
confirmed.
What I've heard.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's confirmed by who?
Me. Just now.
Yeah. I have voices in my head that just told me so. So it's confirmed.
Joe Bishop Henchman's Grill and racist Nick Ashley. Oh, this is great. This is great stuff.
But the one thing you have to ask about the whole moon landing thing is that phone call that Nixon took on a landline,
right? Yeah.
From space.
Yeah. How'd that work?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's almost as unbelievable as the phone calls from the planes on 9/11. But I don't want to get controversial here.
Hey, our good friend Ryan Dawson says that it was totally 100% possible.
The phone calls, yeah, I've heard him say that. That was disappointing to hear. I want them to be fake.
The great thing about Ryan is people either love him and love his takes and think he's great because he's an edgelord and he's controversial, and then there are other people.
He's a Fed who's covering.
There's other people think he's a Fed and everything like that is because he doesn't believe there were explosives in the towers and everything like that. So.
Well, we may as well just pivot right to there while we're talking about everything weird and fun.
Yeah,
weird and fun. 9/11.
That's right. Yeah.
What do you guys think? What's the real story? It's obviously not the one we're told. I think everyone agrees.
Yeah, it's not what we're told. The phone calls are weird to me. If other people say they're possible, like Ryan did, I'm inclined to believe that. But one thing that's always been weird to me is that they found the passport. You know what I mean?
Passport's the weirdest.
The passport is always the one that weirds me out the most. It's like, oh, they just found this passport laying on the ground. Well, wonderful. Isn't that a coincidence?
And that and the BBC reading of the falling of Building 7 before it happened.
Yes,
that's the other one. It's like, okay, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just stumbled upon this video about a bunch of Israelis dancing. So I'll be over here.
That's a comment from Dancing Israeli, Ryan Dawson's.
And also, remember the Pentagon lost, what was it, like almost $1 trillion or like a large sum of money?
2.3 trillion.
2.3 trillion.
Didn't Donald Rumsfeld have a press conference where he was like, "Oh yeah, we lost $2.3 trillion. Anyway, tune in tomorrow."
And then the plane hit the very building or the very spot in the building where that was supposed to have happened or whatever.
And all the Jews didn't go to work that day.
I don't remember going to work that day. So what that
Yeah, but that wasn't because of that.
No. That's because I was unemployed and high. There's nothing to it. What's your favorite conspiracies out there? While we're getting weird and wild here, well, I want to know. Each one of you can name your favorite weird conspiracy, and then maybe conspiracy that you think is the most true. It's a 2-part question, Pete.
Pizzagate, dude. Oh, Pete's going first. No.
What was yours?
Go because I'm still trying
Pizza
to think.
Cryptid.
Well, I know I said Pizzagate.
Oh, okay.
Pizzagate is going to be my new name, by the way. There you go. That's definitely the most interesting one, I think. Not I guess on a grander scale, but just for the time that I got into all this shit, that was like some wild red pill shit.
Is that your favorite or the one you most think is true, or both?
Both. It's certainly the one with the most evidence for, especially with the whole Epstein thing being exposed like years later.
My favorite part about people that dismiss that one is they say, well, the emails it doesn't say that. They just say they could be talking about, like, then you're like, okay, well then explain what they're talking about, because they're saying words completely out of context of when those words would ever make sense. Like, I found a napkin that looks like a napkin,
spaghetti map or whatever. Yeah. And like, don't forget the walnut sauce. I love the walnut sauce with my young pizza. So
maybe it's not pedophilia, but it is something that's not the things they're saying. So
I like my pizza without hair on it. Like I like my pizza without hair on it. It's like, what? Dude.
I think honestly, Pizzagate like might have been the moment that I started to turn away from just caring so much about the philosophy and everything, because I started to realize like, oh, this shit is like real. Like all these things that I've been listening to for all these years about, and I'm not saying literal Satanism, but I'm not saying that either. But like actual forces of evil being behind a lot of things. And the realization that there are people that could actually be talking, like having these kind of communications, that clearly there's something there. And maybe there's an explanation that's not we're raping and killing children. There might be. I don't know. I like to hope that. I like to hope that there's not a bunch of like raped and missing children, but there are missing children. There's like a shit ton of missing children every year that are completely unexplained and never found. So, and
their names are also the names of Wayfair cabinets online.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the craziest thing ever. That Wayfair thing. Let's see. Facebook user. Guys, when you want to comment on the StreamYard, you got to do a weird thing and register with StreamYard so we can see your names. But Facebook user, is the elite pedophile a thing simply to set people up for blackmail, or do they actually like to fuck kids? Well, geez, I don't know.
Why not both?
Yeah, why not both?
Why can't it be both? All right, guys, before we wrap up here, I got to let you know about one of our great sponsors, our longtime sponsors at Lorenzotti, Italy. If you are a fan of coffee, if you like a nice fresh cup of joe to wake up in the morning as I do, you're going to want to check out our friends at Lorenzotti, Italy. They deliver fine, premium Italian coffees right to your door in these nice little tins that look so wonderful sitting on your counter there. And if that weren't all enough, these guys are great libertarians. They are Patreon supporters of this show. They are absolutely worthy of your support. If that all wasn't enough, these guys do more than just sell coffee. They also help other entrepreneurs set up their own coffee businesses, help them acquire equipment, acquire financing, everything they need to start their own coffee business, start their own coffee shops. So you definitely want to check them out for that reason if that's something that's been on your mind. Either way, just fantastic people at Lorenzotti, Italy. Amazing people, fantastic people. You'll want to support them if you're fans of the show. Heck, even if you're not, if you're listening to this by accident, check them out anyway. They have great coffee. Lorenzotti, Italy. You can find them at lorenzotti.coffee. That's LORENZOTTI.coffee. And you do not want to forget your Lions of Liberty listener discount. Just use discount code ROAR for 10% off your order.
Well, I think the weirdest conspiracy theory I've heard is, and I follow this page on Facebook just because it is fascinating, is that the rocks on the planet were alive at one point. And that you can see like their hand, like these like full mountain ranges, or like the face of one person. And like if you turn it sideways, it shows clearly that there's a face, and that they believe that these rocks were actually, these mountains were actually people at one point, and that they existed on this planet.
It's not often I can say that is a conspiracy that I've never heard before.
Oh, it's a fascinating page,
and I know what I'm doing for the rest.
It's called
of
Horny Facts.
Go ahead, Pete. Sorry.
And I would say the one conspiracy theory that I don't know that most people consider this a conspiracy theory, but is the Boston Marathon bombing. There's something really, really wrong with that whole
100%
thing. I mean, it is so fucked. I don't even believe this. I don't know if the Tsarnaevs did it, and if they did it, I think it was under orders, because one of the older one was married to like some blue blood family and everything like that, and he had like CIA contacts there. It's like, come on, what? It just drives me crazy that no one asked. I saw somebody the other day with a Boston Strong shirt on, and I wanted to go up to him and fucking smack him and start explaining to him, fuck. It's like, you believe this was real? You stupid fuck. I mean, it's probably Chris Kyle got murdered over this thing because his fucking team was on the ground there. It's fucking nuts, man.
But are you against it though? Are you against the Boston Marathon bombing? You didn't condemn it.
No, I mean, I fucking hate Boston.
Pete, are you on the record condemning
I want
specifically?
Will you sign a pledge saying you're against the Boston Marathon bombing?
No, I thought it was a good thing.
Oh, see, I revere the Boston Marathon bombing as repugnant and irrational.
Oh,
so
as do all libertarians around the world. Signed, Nicholas
stunning and brave.
If I can name two conspiracy theories, one that is like one of my favorites and one that I think like actually happened. The one I think actually happened is that Ted Kaczynski was caught up in MK Ultra. That's the one that I like.
I don't think that's
really,
even a conspiracy.
I think that's confirmed. Yeah,
is that confirmed?
It's confirmed that he was like part of the experiment.
Confirming it now.
Okay,
yeah, Neoconremover has officially confirmed.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm glad my conspiracy theory was just confirmed right now on the show. But yeah, that is one I definitely believe. One of my favorites is actually, do you know the theory, the conspiracy theory?
Sandy Hook. Yep, we got it.
Oh yeah. Thank you. The conspiracy theory about the black hexagon on Saturn. Do you know about that one?
Well, I don't know I know that the black hexagon on Saturn is a thing, but
okay, yeah, it's essentially that's supposed to be where like the ultra terrestrials essentially inhabit, or like it's a portal to some consider like a portal to hell. Because if you go on YouTube and you Google like radio frequency sounds of Saturn, it sounds like screaming people screaming. If you just Google sounds of Saturn, and you'll get like these radio frequencies of people screaming. And then there's just there's also these black cubes all around America and the world that are supposed to be like these
Mecca,
these, like communications to Saturn. Yeah.
Mecca, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They're supposed to like be radio transmitters in some sense to Saturn. It's wild. It's a wild theory.
So is the theory that those black cubes around the world, some of which are worshipped by like major religions, are literal connections to physical hell that is on this gaseous planet?
Yes, that is the theory, pretty much. Yes,
I like that. All right. What else, guys? What's on your mind? I've almost finished this bottle of wine.
Hell yeah!
There's that.
Let's go. King Tuesday.
I got nothing. I'm totally blank right now. I'm going to pass the baton. Neoconremover, you're the host of Lions of Liberty for one day. Who do you interview and why?
Hey, Mark, are you ready to roar?
Jesus. To know that was coming.
Yeah, welcome to Lions of Liberty. This is Neoconremover hosting, and we got a great show for you today. It's a debate between Brianna Coyle and Dave Smith.
There's a 40% chance one of those isn't making through it.
Man, someday I'm going to figure out this 40% joke. Might be today. Might not. I missed a big joke somewhere along the way, and it's the one thing I don't get on this whole show. And now I don't even want it to be explained to me because that's not even fun.
Right.
So it's better if I just never know. All right, guys. I want to wrap this thing up by asking each of you to give a 30-second speech, a 30-second spiel. I want to give two speeches, actually. I want you to give one speech, why someone should follow you on Twitter and should follow your every move. One other speech, another 30 seconds. Why they should not ever look at anything you do, say, or write.
Oh, that's great.
Pete, you can go first. Do it in any order you want.
Say it again.
One 30-second speech or so.
I'm starting to get high now too. So.
This is why your video's off.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. Why people should follow you, why people should not follow you.
Okay, why should people follow me? If you are somebody who likes to see people just absolutely lose their shit, or if you like to see somebody who just really doesn't give a fuck, follow me. Why shouldn't you follow me? I don't know. Maybe because you're a good person. That's probably the best reason to not follow me.
Because good people should do good people things. All right, Ace, double speeches.
All right, yeah. So if you enjoy watching constant debates on your timeline and in quote tweet threads that are longer than the Eiffel Tower that you'll have to click through in forever to get to the start, you should probably follow me. And that I'll give a longer reason why you should not follow me. You should not follow me if you care about your mental health and all that is good and decent in the world. And if you just do not want to experience any type of suffering in your life, you should probably just steer clear of my timeline.
All right, fair enough. Neoconremover, lay it on.
You should follow me because I think I post pretty funny stuff, and I think you'll get a kick out of some of the goofs and gaffes we have over on my page. It's frankly, we have some of the best people, folks, and it's a real great time. And we do a little trolling. We do a little trolling, and it's just a good old time. And the reason you shouldn't follow me is because if you follow Pete and Ace, they'll retweet everything I tweet anyway. So there you go. You'll get it all.
Yeah.
That's a good point. All right. I want you guys to each wrap up, just since these handles change all the time. Just let everybody know your current Twitter handle, the best one they should follow right now. And one last request. I want you to tweet something verbally as you sign off. Whatever you want. Make a tweet, but instead of tweeting it, you're going to say it. All right? Okay. Ace, yeah. I'm going to make you go first because I know you're on the spot.
The tweet?
Yeah, or whatever order you want. You can buy yourself some time by giving your Twitter handle.
Okay, well, you can follow me at ace_archist on Twitter, and then check out my podcast Slurp Gang if you don't want something political. But for the tweet, I'll just tweet Free Ross.
All right, simple, effective, respectable. Pete.
Twitter at Peter R. Quinones, and my tweet would be something like. Oh God, I don't even know. Jeez, talk about put someone on the fucking spot. I don't know.
Don't worry, I'll edit this out so whatever you said sounded like you did it right now, except for the video. I'm not going to edit that. So.
Okay. So, well, I'm going to borrow a comment that somebody made in the Lions of Liberty Pride for this. 6 million seems a little high.
That works on way too many levels for me to handle right now. All right, Neocon, it's always changing.
Follow me at Neoconremover. That's it on Twitter. And go to JoeBidenGaySex.com to pick up some cool shirts. It's a real website, I promise. Not a joke.
It's real.
It's not a joke. It's actually real.
I'm actually just confirming this live for the audience at home. Yep. Oh, wow. That really just redirects to neoconremover.com. Amazing.
And a tweet to send right now. The only reason Richie Castaldo is interested in shifting the Overton window is so he can get caught jerking off in front of it.
And that is an appropriate way to wrap things up, guys. All right. Well, as our patron Jim McGill just said, best Lions of Liberty Live of all time. Hope you all agree. We'll see how much at the end of the show we all remember. Anyway, gentlemen, thank you so much. It's been a blast, and look forward to Ace is going to be back actually in a few weeks.
Right.
debating Brad Palumbo.
Dude, I'm so stoked for that.
I am really
amazing.
stoked for that. About the topic of whether, I think it started from the conversation about whether it's okay to slap politicians, but we're going to broaden that to the broader idea about whether it's okay to be violent, basically, in politics. So we'll find out.
It's going to be very sick. I'm extremely excited.
Yes, we all are. All right.
Oh wait, if I'm a Lions of Liberty Patreon member, can I comment live on the show, like on the video, and have it pop up like this?
Yeah, when we do StreamYards, you can.
Is it going to be StreamYard?
This one is, yeah.
No, the fucking
that
with Brad?
one. I'll do StreamYard just specifically so you can comment. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna be lighting motherfuckers up. I'm gonna write.
I control which tweets which comments we see, but don't worry.
That's fine. I'm gonna be good, but I'm gonna write many jokes about Brad Palumbo that I want to pop up on the screen.
All right. Well, if for no other reason, this is the number one reason to join the Lions of Liberty Pride, so you can live see Neoconremover's comments to Brad Palumbo while he debates Ace about the use of violence and maybe about tanks. Gentlemen, it's been a blast. Had a good time.
Thanks so much, Mark.
And I'm going to continue this evening with maybe another bottle. I don't know. We'll see. It's been an awesome time, guys. All right. Peace out.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, gang. I hope you had as much fun as I did. It's probably nearly impossible to have as much fun as I did actually being able to participate in the show with 3 of my favorite Twitter follows. But please do go follow all 3 of these gentlemen, Pete Quinones, Ace Archist, and Neoconremover. You will absolutely not regret it. And if you do regret it, well, then I don't know what to tell you. You probably don't have that great of a sense of humor. What else can I say? But regardless, I had an absolute blast talking to these guys, and the fun just continues from here. Ryan will be coming back this coming Wednesday with another slapping you upside the head edition of Electric Liberty Land, while John Odermatt wraps things up on Thursday with his journey into finding freedom. You get it all here, all 3 of these shows for the price of one, and that price is free, my friends, unless, of course, you do want to support us on Patreon at patreon.com/secondprintpod. Of course, you can also support today's sponsor, Top Lobster, over at toplobster.com. I'm telling you guys, he has the absolute coolest Liberty gear you can actually wear out and feel good about wearing over at toplobster.com. Don't forget to use our discount code ROAR for 10% off your order. Until next week, my friends.
Live long and live free.